Hello, everyone and everywhere, whoever was or will be. I am Red Runner, and today I'm joined by Party Time, the Valorant player, and Solo Hunter.
G'day.
Hello, guys. Hello there, guys.
It's been a moment.
It's my first time here.
And today we're watching Mahito versus Shigaraki, but the other way around. I said it backwards. We're a day late because the schedule changed unexpectedly for reasons that are undisclosed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so as far as the matchup goes, though, who do you guys think will win? Why are you here? And who would you want to win?
You want to go first, Solo?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go
ahead, mate. It's pretty much like everyone's just saying, like, everyone and their grandma's just saying, like, Shigaraki wins. Like, people, like, hate Mahito with a freaking passion. Like, one of the most hated, like, anime villains ever.
Yeah.
So, rooting and betting, I'm going for Shigaraki, but I don't really mind if Mahito somehow pulls a win out of his ass, but it would be a freaking miracle for that to happen.
Yeah.
I guess,
yeah.
for my input, yeah, I mostly see people say Shigaraki, but it is worth noting I am in circles that have talked about ways Mahito could potentially win. Like, just for example, people agree that Shigaraki is way outdoing him in stats. He is faster and stronger. But Mahito probably has a more solid win condition. In the fact that if he lays hands on Shigaraki, he can just kill him, you know? Whereas Shigaraki, potentially, that will work, but you have to make arguments to support that. It's not a given.
A very long time ago, I believe that it was G1 that did a blog on Shigaraki vs Mahito, where Shigaraki came out as the winner. And for the remaster, which was, I think, a few days ago, maybe a week ago, where Shigaraki still won the blog, but it was a lot closer. It was a 7-4 decision. So the chances of Mahito winning, they're definitely a lot bigger than I originally expected. Which is good. I like a matchup with a bit more variety when it comes to who should win and who shouldn't.
Yeah, something with some more discussion to it.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people like close matchups where the stats are equal. But this one is interesting. Honest. This one is interesting because it's close regardless. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk first?
Oh, no. Party, you were gonna say something.
Yeah. For me, technically, the discussion on who should win never matters that much, unless it's for a character that I really like and wants to have a chance of winning. Yes, that's me being biased. But usually, for me, it's all about the spectacle and the animation potential of what a fight can bring. And that's why I was never really sure on who Shigaraki would fight before I was eventually convinced that Mahito would be the better option. And if you've been a long-time fan of this channel, you know that I was on that Deku vs. Asta reaction. And with that episodes, I had a lot of hopes. And
we don't need to talk about it.
Like that episode.
We don't need to talk about it more.
If I may talk about my thoughts and how that's leading up to this.
Yeah.
Some main problems with Deku vs. Asta was with how their personalities clashed and the context of the fight and why suddenly Deku had to die for no reason and why they just didn't like each other and why Deku went all out for no particular reason. And that's just kind of what I was hoping for, because it felt like it was going to be a spiritual successor to All Might vs. Might Guy. Yeah, that was definitely disappointing. Luckily, for Shigaraki's episode, I didn't really need to worry about that, because I can't think of a single way of how Shigaraki vs. Mahito could get along.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's pretty self-explanatory.
Shigaraki's hate alone could probably construct a new Mahito.
I can see that.
Yeah, I've heard something similar from people, how this is one of those fights where they are probably two opponents who would just hate each other more than any other matchup.
Yeah, this is definitely up there, especially with how I don't think many people know this, but Shigaraki is pretty much a child, even though he is physically an adult. He still's got the mentality of an actual child, and I hope that reflects in the fight as well, in his personality and his behavior and the way he talks.
Honestly, this fight would just be like a fight between two Twitter users.
No.
Yeah, let's go with that. All right.
I mean, with how well they hate each other, sure, but with how they talk, no, because the average Twitter user, I mean, they would say at least 5 slurs, and you know,
Yeah,
I'm not looking forward to that.
Okay. So, it's not up to us. It's up to these guys who wins, and we might get it right. We might get it wrong. I don't know. But either way, let's start our show.
So how many hand jokes are we gonna get? What was that?
That was
was
a
that
bubbling
the one-
face.
Was that the one for all users?
And it's
think
our
it's-
job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win.
Wait, are they giving him like everything?
Probably everything.
Shimura was just a sweet.
I
There's a
mean,
little
that
bit
would
of
make
an
sense
echo, by
because
the way.
in the last fight, he did get pretty much all of the one for all users quirks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah,
that's a big spoiler.
Inherent superpower or quirk.
Yep. My bad. League of Legends. Wait, he's also a Smash Bros. Player?
Yeah, he is. And lives in a society.
Tenko wandered the
The,
streets
the
of
editing is
Tokyo
already so
begging
fucking
for
phenomenal,
someone
bro. I love it.
to help him. If only a hero was there to save him, but instead, the only open hand he found belonged to the devil.
All for one, the greatest
Grandchild.
super villain in history.
The devil line is actually pretty clever because something demon lord.
And grooming him to one day lead his league of villains in destroying hero society.
With that came
I like the
a
creepy music they added to it.
Shigaraki,
Yeah, it fits really
Oh,
well.
yes.
Hey, it does what it says.
It reminds me of Shigaraki's first introduction. He was nightmare fuel.
For someone who just wants to destroy.
Fear aura.
Menacing, if not for that dorky
He really is aura farming.
Get it, hands are his thing.
Shut up.
Come on, they just look so dumb and fake.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real
Yep.
from his family.
How the hell did he get those anyway? Even though
Uh,
they're disintegrated.
One
I
for-
legitimately
sorry,
don't want to know.
All for one got them for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
While his use of decay started off relatively weak,
Oh,
it
this
rapidly increased
fucking
in
scene
power
gave
and
me
range as
nightmares.
Shigaraki came into his own.
That
was so scary.
I always get twisted when I'm trying to say all for one for all.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes I mix them up.
Miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous tower to an entire city.
If decay reaches you, your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After years of training with
Read
the
Destro,
greatest
yeah.
villain of all time, Shigaraki was finally put in charge of his own team with one mission. He must kill his
Now that I look at that
rival
scene, some of the villain
enormous
designs look
hero,
really weird.
All Might.
Only to fall
Yeah.
flat on his face.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and well.
It doesn't get enough attention, but I really do like the editing they have in
Gamer
these.
lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say "normie" in real life.
Fucking clip,
But
man.
they say defeat is the greatest teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction.
Right as all
That was creepy.
was coming into his
Oh, I hate that.
These two rivals the inheritors of their master's blood feud
Excuse
would
me.
push themselves past their own limitations.
Especially when All Might and All for One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki
I wouldn't call it double KO, but sure.
by himself.
And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight. and
That's the
helped
endurance
other
test.
villain organizations
Yes.
Yep.
create the Paranormal Liberation Front.
I honestly forget
Thousands
about
of
that
soldiers for his
sometimes.
personal army.
Wasn't that the one thing that was cut from the anime?
Personal quack, Dr.
I think it still
Usako
technically
used
happened, they
Shigaraki's
just
body
didn't
to make it more like
show
a
it.
sensei's. It might have been constant agony.
Oh, that is
When
disturbing.
to
The manga is more disturbing than that.
Experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and durability, enough to match and surpass even All Might's absurd power.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were
There it
able to
is.
launch an island
Oh,
Oh yeah,
God.
there's the feed again.
1,000 miles into the sky. We've calculated that before to be
Still one of the coolest fucking scenes in
TNT,
every
almost
movie
as
I've
much as
watched.
the meteor that wiped out the
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even...
Yeah, that was without a quirk. That was fun.
And he's tough enough to survive Star and Stripes Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch. Now
Nice.
from a penis. Move over, gigantic
Okay.
Omega Storm.
No, that's the classic boomstick.
So big it shook
Yeah, that's a reference probably to an
Seem
episode.
invincible when Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough.
Oh,
will
God.
evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
Body horror time.
He became. Oh shit! More hands.
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh into existence.
Yeah.
Seemingly
God, it's just
This-
fingers. It's just fingers spawning out of
so
fingers.
disgusting.
in close combat.
But that's nothing compared to Ujiko's greatest gift. Shigaraki wanted to be the.
Would you call this finger food?
So what better
No, never
way
mind.
than the old
I can only
man's
imagine the jazz hands from that.
His quirk, All for One, allows its user to
Yep.
steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All for One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is
My
connected
God,
to a
man.
memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Kinda like a piece of their soul. They exist in this kinda psychic world in Shigaraki.
Okay, yeah, they're bringing real close attention to the souls and spirits part.
And with those
Yeah.
vestiges
I'd
came
be
quirks
concerned if
Yep,
they
it's
didn't.
nice.
air blast.
Yeah, no, the fact that they are makes me think they're going to say Shigaraki's win condition works.
Search, light, heavy payload, reflex, scatter, and many more.
Vestige stolen or destroyed will also
Okay.
remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the
Oh yeah, that's what happened to Stars and Stripes, right?
Shigaraki also
Yeah.
got All for One's vestige. That means All for One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's
Yeah,
entire
here it is.
existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tenko's grandmother.
Break him down.
To mess with
Oh, the editing does such a good job of that reveal.
Manipulated
Yeah.
Shigaraki's entire life.
That was probably one of the best reveals of My
5
Hero.
months. Okay.
Oh, the disintegrating.
It would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All for One to take full control.
But All for One's possession wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed
Oh
to
yeah,
find
that
his
that
way
scene.
back to the
That's
top,
perfect.
literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last
That's
time.
so awesome.
Despite Izuku's best
That
efforts,
editing!
Shigaraki was too far gone. His spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying All for
Nice.
One's grudge for good.
All that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he was raised to be, and not the broken, angry, crying little boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was really all about. He got a hero who tried to save him.
Nice.
That,
Nice.
that was a really good. That was a really good.
I love how they ended
analysis.
that.
VIP treatment, receiving a
That was a
3-star
very good
Yes.
analysis portion.
The privilege
I'm
is
proud
That
we
was
got Shigaraki's
exactly what I
origin
wanted.
better than most of the fan base does to understand it.
Yeah, yeah.
By 3%.
Plus, you
All
also
for
get
one
cash
purpose.
and non-retirement accounts.
Oh,
I just now
I
noticed
didn't.
that.
I didn't even realize that.
Me either.
Who's writing this? Hold on.
The new gold standard is here with Robin
we
Who
will
wrote this?
see by the end.
3% boost on annual
Yeah,
IRA
we don't want a,
Sign up at Robinhood.
Wasn't it Liam? I thought it was Liam, no?
Again, I'll check in the credits for you.
It was the
but-
same person who did like Deku versus Asa, I think.
Well, whoever did this, their notebook is on fire from writing.
Literally that freaking gif of the right.
probably-
Yeah.
It's probably like a Google Doc if we're being real.
Robinhood Gold LLC.
Then
Now
the
what's
computer
the
is being
job?
fried.
Ever since Cain slew his brother Abel and wetted his fields with his blood, man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
But what if this fear?
That's a very interesting way of starting it.
What if all that negative emotion humans felt for one another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming over time a living being fueled by
Get the
malice
grippers outta
which
here.
believes in nothing
You want those feet?
jungle.
Oh, this-
The special grade curse with the patch face, Mahito. Oh, I've had people tell me.
Why do they
Why
split it up in two?
Mahito is one of the deadliest.
Williams in a society, goddammit, not again.
He's no mere
Ladies and gentlemen,
a cursed
the funny.
spirit. Innumerable spirits exist,
Fan of
weaker
Tolkien.
or stronger depending on the amount of
Hell's
anxieties,
Tolkien.
jealousies,
Sure.
hatreds, and fears
What?
humans
His name
feel
is
about
true
it.
person?
Age a few months old.
Wait, you don't know who Tolkien is? Alright.
Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
Tell me
From
after.
what follows that mankind's fear of itself would be extremely powerful.
I loved it. I love the edit of him just swinging around.
A being composed of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil key. Cursed energy can be used to make
There's
with
the
therapy.
evil key mention. Yep, there we go.
tougher than any normal human, and it's invisible, making curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person to see a curse.
Yeah, it's almost like we're in a death battle.
They may be physically present in space, but
He also
Oh,
has
nice.
danger sense, so.
spirit matter like
Yeah.
cursed energy.
Which makes curses insanely
And
hard to get
I
rid
think
of.
search would work as well.
Or my
Probably, yeah.
That's why you need a jujutsu sorcerer to come in and kaizen the shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but
I didn't know
I like
that
the way
what
I
that
say
name
it.
meant, but that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're,
No,
they're words.
I've been a fan of JJK for a pretty long time, and I never knew what it meant.
Almost exclusively in Japan, though, for some reason.
But
Applause for
Mahito's
Japan,
special.
yay.
You see, most curses are basically dumb animals, but Mahito has so much cursed energy.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask this question again. What's your
Alongside other special grades,
devil
disasters
or fear manifested
wreak
bread?
havoc upon the world.
I don't know.
They made Mahito
And even more
Actually, no idea. Ask me later.
Mahito
How about you, Solo?
philosophy.
Perhaps informed
Politicians.
by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito
Good one.
is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Oh, this scene.
Also,
Yeah,
gives him
the wolf.
football.
And Mahito's wolf. Very ironic.
Really get your steps in. He loves to dig around and toy with your emotions. like
That
a
shot of Mahito just having the time of his life and Choso just looking like he wants to go home.
Considering his curse
Yeah.
technique, idol transfiguration.
Alright, there it is.
He
really is an idol.
Anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu
What a
Kaisen,
freak.
the soul and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets Mahito squash.
But yeah,
stretch,
why he's so hated
his
basically
body
has already been
anything
mentioned.
he
He loves the
He can turn
the
his limbs
thrill of the
into
kill,
blades or
I guess.
clubs, grow wings
Or
with
just
And he
taking his
kills a
time.
lot of people.
reform his body
Yeah, especially in front of others.
even create
Yeah.
clones.
Curse
R.I.P.
users are
Junpei.
naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though,
He should have been a
his
sorcerer,
alterations to their
Junpei.
body are
Yeah.
instantly fatal.
And since he's attacking your soul,
Feel so sorry for that kid.
those are gonna be impossible to heal.
Even if his alteration isn't
Yeah,
directly
there he is.
fatal, the human
Damn,
body won't last more than a few moments
so
in a
heartbreaking.
transfigured state.
Yeah, this shit broke me.
Oh,
Oh, speaking of which,
Herpes was dead.
His powers mean
Oh, I heard herpes.
treats humans as effectively
God.
disposable dolls that he can gleefully experiment on. The more casualties, the better. Especially if he gets to break your spirit first and watch you
yeah,
suffer.
this.
Even more twisted is when he combines two transfigured humans together for soul multiplicity. Essentially, a
Choso, man.
body horror
Multiplicity.
flesh that he repels at an
Yeah, this. Yeah, here comes the choo-choo train.
Unbelievably creative with his
God.
application of idol transfiguration. And
Yeah, he is
despite-
disturbingly creative.
consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked over it, but he is just a few months old. He is basically a child.
He's not even a year old, and he's this creative.
Second of an impact with an enemy,
Oh, what the hell?
itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a
Yep.
factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like
Black fucking flash, motherfucker.
restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes moving nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound.
This would apply to Gojo then. He's the Makima.
Unlock the pinnacle of sorcerer
yeah,
techniques,
never mind.
the domain expansion.
Oh shit! More
Hands, hands,
Yeah.
and more hands.
That's the
An
hand.
animator's worst nightmare.
Got inside, Mahito can use idle transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection, the ultimate expression of Mahito's absolute control
Perfect.
over his victim's body and soul. The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not
There he
only
is.
was Yuji a barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living
Can we
things,
please
blah, blah,
stop
blah,
making
blah,
fun
blah,
of the
blah,
usual goody two-shoes stereotype? Please! It's just a good fucking person!
But they're saying it from the perspective of the villains.
Surprise! And kicked Mahito's
I
ass
don't
before
care.
he face to fight with a handicap whenever facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief
Hell
in
yeah.
the value of human life flew directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be cruel and meaningless. So he made it his
Ew.
mission to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him, murdering his friends, defiling their corpses, and brutally
Oh yeah,
killing them
this
before going
this
into
turned him
jail.
from a villain into a fucking
Mahito's
maniac.
one of the most powerful curses in the world, and his growth is exponential.
Like, how many did
After
he...
cursing Jogo was able to
Not
send
enough.
a massive meteor
Here's
capable of
meteor.
reducing the city
Yep, there we go.
ash.
That'd take an energy of over 800 kilotons of TNT.
And Mahito
Kaboomba.
can take as good as he can give, especially when in the throes of struggle against
What is this background music? Why is it so happy?
I wouldn't call it happy, it's like dramatic boss
Oh,
music.
whoa.
killing.
Complete with armored exoskeleton.
It's
and
just a JRPG.
Void like 0.2
almighty
seconds.
curse Mahito was growing into, a true blight on all mankind.
I've never seen that for Mahito.
I'm sorry, but it feels so heroic.
Yuji won out. And a dog-eat-dog
I think it's
world
because it's like
was
climactic
never
battle
been
theme,
So
which...
he tucked
Oh,
tail and
It sounds like
here it is.
JRPG.
The freaking running scene.
Yeah, look at him.
suddenly became a whole lot
If they
more
include that in the
meaningful,
battle, I'd be
singing
so
it like it
proud.
was about to end.
all that gleeful nihilism, just a bitter hypocrisy in the end.
For him,
What's that sound effect?
Mahito found a convert in his archenemy.
I don't
After
give a
battle
shit.
that wiped out
It was
thousands
like
of
a
people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone.
low
The
gong.
only thing left that mattered was
That's so funny.
exercising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He
Yeah,
may not have been around to see it,
I mean, I don't know why he ran. He got exactly what he asked for.
bring it to its knees.
Yuji was a fucking monster
was
after
pretty good
this.
too.
See that join button? Yeah, that one. That's your ticket to the Death Battle Champion.
Do we
We're
join
gonna
in
give
on
our
this?
final thoughts on who's gonna win
for
for the battle.
I'm still definitely rooting for Shigaraki, but I'm not saying no to the impossibility.
And the support helps us
Again,
keep
the
the
fact that they
Death
brought
Battle
attention to the
Champion
soul
for being a
thing,
champion.
I don't know. Yeah, I do think Shigaraki, as long as he has a win condition, probably
We've
will
run the data
win.
through all possibilities.
It's time for a death
I mean,
No,
they-
Fortnite.
there's the fact
There we
that,
go.
Michael couldn't attack Yuji without targeting Sukuna, so they might apply it here, though.
Yeah, who knows? It looks so good. Oh,
Average-
Jesus Christ.
You're already saying New York Transit.
But this is just a daily commute
This
in
is
Amsterdam.
Japan.
I don't
This
know what
is
you're talking
Japan.
about, man. Yep, danger sense. There we go.
And he put a
And
hand
that's
on his
search.
face to protect himself.
I'd heard of a powerful villain stalking these parts. My organization.
Arguably, we got Subaru's voice actor to voice Mahito.
World down around us. We could use a freak of your talents.
Little me. Do I want to be king of the social region?
This music is amazing.
How about I bring him your head?
I like it.
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition. Sickum.
Oh, no.
Here come the Nomu.
Yes!
Surprisingly, no high ends, though.
I don't care. This looks cool. They are 3D, I think.
Yeah, the Nomu look like they're 3D.
Sick! Idle
That's
Transfiguration.
Kamehameha.
Yep, and the hands.
Oh, gamer
Is that a
lingo.
reference to Bowser vs. Eggman featuring the soundtrack Game Over?
Looks like a ragdoll.
Rose.
See that? God, how lame!
I legit thought he was vomiting at the sight of kiss. Okay, the doppelganger thingy.
Oh, he's destroying the messages.
Oh, that's sick.
Wait, so that means that he actually shields then?
Did I get the part?
Clever.
Oh shit! That's an anime reference.
Moro does a really good job with lighting.
He really cooked with this one.
Oh, the thingies. Black Flash.
2 messages were just destroyed then. Oh, here comes the climax, I think.
Yep, there we go.
If they include a Sukuna reference, I'd be so proud here.
This is so sick.
Oh, is that a reference to...
Oh yeah, that's, I think that's Nobara reference.
Domain.
Oh boy.
Oh, the hands are clashing with each other.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh, those messages on his hands.
Oh, that's so cool.
And wants to make it.
Oh, this is so cool.
Grow up.
The laugh is great.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, for one!
Hands off.
He talks! He literally just did a Sukuna. Oh yeah, Mahito screwed. Yeah, he's screwed.
Yeah, and we're getting
Run.
big boy decay.
Have a running scene.
Do it.
Yes.
I hate them for a reason.
No, it's not happening now.
You grow up.
He just Ami landed him.
Yes. That was so cool.
What did I say, Wiz?
That was cool.
With their complex power sets,
Did I just hear
Like a
something
bitch.
here like a bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Down to 3
He said that.
physical
Don't worry about it.
He said that in the Mahito analysis too, when he ran away.
Even see
Wait.
Mahito. He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki
Oh, yeah.
wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with the Surge quirk, Shigaraki
Yeah, there it
had
is.
no problem
Yeah. That's what I said. The search
Seeing
quirk.
Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest. Despite the
Yeah.
disaster,
Yeah. It's exactly what we predicted. The stats easily go to Shiki.
Scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was calculably millions of times stronger.
I don't even know if that's the strongest feat that
React to light beams.
my hero has.
Yeah, no, it's not the strongest feed anymore.
Sometimes the speed of sound.
They tried to scale Mahito to the light speed, but it wasn't enough to cover Shigaraki's speed.
Yeah.
But survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However, Mahito is a curse and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out.
The instrumental goes hard for this.
Mahito's regenerative ability via idle transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which
I can deal with
presents
that.
a crucial question.
Fair enough.
Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
This is what I was most curious about.
The only quirk that could actually kill Mahito was just decay itself.
Yeah,
It
right?
all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse.
Yeah.
That didn't mean idle transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges serve.
Oh, yeah,
as
this.
spiritual
Oh yeah, this is exactly what you said.
transfiguration. The
Yeah.
fact that Mahito could
Yeah.
not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking
And this as well.
meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside.
Yeah, he couldn't target specific ones.
Soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary.
Yeah, the 45-day
I feel
stamina
like-
battle.
Affected spiritual beings in the past.
Wiz is so
Oh, right, I
inconsistent with
completely
how he
forgot about
pronounces
this.
He
that.
was able to damage Deku's vestige and have
Oh, this one, too.
Oh, yeah, that.
in the real
I
world.
completely forgot about that.
Made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact,
Yeah, and I beat him.
couldn't naturally target the soul. We're able to fight him on even footing. No reason to think Shiggy
My
is
brother.
like everyone else.
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge. It was a unique duel to the death, but Shigaraki
Wow, it's basically like Galactus Unicron results now.
spelled the end for the disaster.
Nothing else to say. You really
But yeah.
gotta hand it to Shigaraki.
The winner is
Didn't-
That was the only pun? You had a handful of them. Come on.
Death battle.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, yeah.
Soul versus lightning. Right?
Oh,
never mind.
Sake.
I was really wrong. Never mind.
See how they mastered my boy.
I saw the planets and I was like, wait, this is just like the scene in Xenoblade Definitive. It didn't. Never mind.
All right.
So excited for a second.
Next
Never
time
mind.
not.
You know what?
Next time not too surprising.
For
Still
for me,
exciting.
absolutely was surprised. Still, yeah, this should be fun. I'm happy for the Master Chief and Doom Slayer fans.
I'm a Halo fan, and why did they do this? Like, I'm not complaining. It's just Chief is going to it's going to die.
Yeah, Phil put up a good fight, and
Unless
if
they pull something out of their ass, like,
he is
they somehow get-
almost definitely going to die, but I do at least want to give a little bit of credit in mentioning. I want to do this in the most respectful way possible. Some people use the novels to argue some ridiculous stuff for Master Chief, which almost definitely is not legitimate, but...
I'm gonna be real, I do not care for the debate at all. If they just put up a good show, I'm goody.
Yeah, like... So, Hunter, just for the record, I'm not going to get into what the feats are, because I don't think they're legitimate, but some people get into dimensional tiering for Master Chief because of stuff in the novels.
Really?
Excuse
Yeah.
you?
I don't think any of it is legitimate, but it technically exists.
Interesting. Anyways, this episode was fucking good.
Oh,
Yes, it
yeah.
was.
Honestly, this might be my
Oh.
favorite episode of the season. Like, just tied with Ghost and Spawn.
I think it had
I mean,
really...
there
I think
isn't
it
a lot
had
of
really-
competition.
I think it had really good analysis portions.
Yeah, the analysis was perfectly done. What I love was that they didn't sugarcoat how Shigaraki ended. He wasn't misunderstood. He was just a hater and wanted to be remembered that way. He had respect for Deku, but he went out the way of fighting what he believed for. So,
Honestly, my favorite
I'm
fight.
glad that they went with that. I'm really glad that they went with that.
But I will actually, because I went back to check, one weird thing about this episode, it doesn't have a credits section. I think they forgot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Didn't they do that with like
there's just no
there was a-
credits.
no?
I think it's probably because it aired earlier. Maybe earlier than it's supposed to.
I mean,
Wait, who
it's
was
still
All for One,
weird
though?
that there aren't credits. I don't
Hold on.
feel like that would have
Is it
anything
good
to
if
do with
I
it.
check the wiki real quick to see
yeah,
who
yeah.
voiced All for One? Alright, give me
It's in
1
the
second.
Description though.
Okay, so Liam wrote it. Moro
Oh yeah, the
animated
credits are gonna still be in the description.
Hold on.
Yeah, no. Now that you
It's
mention
Liam.
it, Liam voices.
Liam voiced All for One.
Liam voices every
He-
throwaway character. Let's be real. Anyway,
Why does he do such a good job?
so Hunter, you are right. Ghost Rider Spawn didn't have credits either. I just never recognized that. I never noticed.
Bro.
I see my favorite part of this fight was like not the Sukuna reference with All for One, as well as like how Shigaraki just omni-landered Mahito's head. Like he really just
I really like that because part of me was like, if Mahito loses this, I hope that he has that running scene. What made his death so famous, and it's also great because, like I said, I hope that Shigaraki's childish personality just shows in the fight, and it really does because his final line, I think, was literally "You grow up,"
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
it was literally just him
so
throwing
close.
back
it's
the
so
insult.
perfect. It's
It
so
was-
perfect. I
it was
got
literally
my
him
perfect My
throwing
Hero
back the-
Academia episode.
It
God
was him
damn.
throwing back the insult in the least mature way he possibly could.
It is amazing.
He was done with like Mahito shit. You could just hear it in his voice. He's
But
like,
yeah.
Really, probably my second favorite episode of the 24 to 25 season. I mean, my favorite
Because-
is still Bowser vs. Eggman, and good luck topping that.
yeah.
Whatever's next.
Because we occasionally do those ranking things, I won't say, but this one is definitely high up there.
Yeah.
Are we
Alright.
gonna do one? Yeah,
All we know is
I-
like next is going to be a 3D fight since we had
Oh,
like a
I
3D
mean,
fight,
yeah.
and a hand drawing.
I
You
the next one
that
should
was
be.
a given. That was a given. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
that isn't even like speculation worthy. Most
It's probably
of the
going to be a
half of
Devil
the reason
Artemis.
half of the reason this one is getting redone is because it needs to be in 3D.
Yeah.
But who's animating this? It's gonna be
It's-
Devil Artemis, no?
It's probably Devil Artemis because
Because like he's the only 3D animator on the team. Last time I checked, and sometimes
Yeah.
that worries me just a little bit because I don't know how much that guy can take. But I don't know. Compared to a lot of people that like to bitch and whine about a lot, I really liked how Kratos versus Asura turned out, and you know I have high hopes for Chief Slayer.
really there are only a few things that are necessary for this upcoming one. They have big arsenals, so a lot of stuff won't make it into the fight.
Yeah, but
You
I
need
mean you could say that they have big arsenals, but most of it is just guns.
exactly,
so-
but what I'm saying, there are a couple things that are necessary. You need the BFG, and you need the energy sword versus it has a name, the Crucible.
Yeah,
Is it
love it.
Crucible.
Crucible, Energy Sword versus Crucible.
But they
Yeah.
better include freaking Isabel reference in the next fight, though.
The what? The what reference?
Isabel.
Oh, Isabel.
Better wouldn't care.
Doom Crossing.
You can't
Like
have
No,
they just have like a
no,
little
it's-
figurine
it's-
of an Isabel amiibo in the background. That'd be funny.
Eternal Horizons.
I mean, they had like the Among Us versus Fall Guys fight, like for the 2020 bit.
Mhm.
Like they had to include it here.
Not fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
yeah,
what do you
that
think will
one.
be happening after Chief versus Doomslayer, though?
What do I
Okay,
think
but
will be
hold on.
after it?
Yeah,
Like I said,
I'm betting
what the hell's
Kyle
going to be?
Simon.
What the hell's going to be after Chief versus Slayer though? Because the next episode revealed that is after this that I know of is Ash versus Yugi, but we still don't know if that's episode 200 because that was a little vague.
Wait,
Well,
what if-
no, I imagine the next episode will be something we're not familiar with.
Or it's going to, I mean, like I said, the other matchups that are revealed and that could be before Ash vs. Yugi are Simon versus Kyle, Ruby versus Maka, Aang versus Traveler, Hulk versus Godzilla, and Groot versus Megamind. Or we're finally going to have an unrevealed episode, and please, I'm begging you, give me my Shulk versus Lightning.
I just want to comment my
My heart broke.
like X-Day versus Neptune for once. Like I love that fight.
But yeah,
We'll see.
chances are the next one is going to be an unrevealed episode.
Yeah.
And TV though.
Which I'm excited for. You know,
And
By the way-
one of the big
yeah.
reasons it would not be Aang versus Traveler, because I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that is going to be a 3D fight, because Devil Artemis
Most
has said in the past that he wants to animate Aang, and considering this matchup, I think that is part of the reason it was on the Kickstarter, I think, is because that lines up well with everyone's
and-
preferences.
and Traveler has a pretty good 3D model. I mean, it's
course.
Genshin Impact. Of course, they have a good 3D model. Come on, man.
But yeah, Devil Artemis had a list of characters he wanted to animate for, and Aang was on it. Omni-Man was another one.
Any
Do you
feel?
think they're going to do another Kickstarter like when all the fights are done?
I'm
No,
not sure. I mean, it's called Kickstarter for a reason, and now we have kickstarted.
Their goal
Kickstarted.
was to use the Kickstarter just to get momentum and continue the show. I don't think they intend.
And I think we went like 800% over what was initially expected.
Yeah, I don't believe they plan to continue. Make a new Kickstarter.
Wait, I just realized something.
What?
What if the next fight after the 2D fight is going to be like a Wily Coyote versus Tomcat? Because it has to be like a hand-drawn one, right?
Yeah. And we know that it's going to be animated by Lewis? Yeah, it was going to be animated by Lewis. That's what was confirmed.
Yeah,
so maybe that's the next one? We'll see.
It very well could be. We've been waiting a good bit for it, so...
Yeah, and Kratos vs. Ashura came out before that, so that's very likely, in my opinion. But either way, we are going way off topic for the Shigaraki vs. Mahito episode.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But either
honestly,
way...
I could talk about this episode for a very long time. There was so much to see, so much to enjoy. I really like this episode.
So what's wrong with taking the bet? Anyway, if you like the video, you can like. If you didn't, dislike. But either way, we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.
Ciao.
And we might go right up.
And there's the blooper, ladies and gentlemen. We are so back. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your goat.
Don't be rash.